now there is a new Jag.
And at Jaguar, we're passionate about our people.
We're supposed to be upholding the reputation of Jaguar.
The new face of Jaguar.
We've established over 15 DEI groups, such as transitioning at work.
I am celebrating and reveling in the glories of Jaguar.
Well, I'm glad you like the car.
This video is brought to you by the #1 website builder, Squarespace. They say timing's everything. Well, Jaguar's timing to go woke couldn't have come at a worse time. Read the room, fellas. Yes, Jaguar, the British icon, has decided to follow Hollywood and Bud Light and turn their back on their traditional buyers to chase an imaginary population that exists mostly on TikTok. When will these companies ever learn? Don't they know that old saying, go woke, go broke?
Look at this wild. It's time beer made it up to women.
This month I celebrated my day 365 of womanhood.
Wow.
Yes, Jaguar have come out with a new ad that's advertising, being progressive and inclusive, I think, because there ain't a car in sight. And they've done this with an ad that may have been seen as progressive and different a decade ago, but now looks like a very dated concept that's bordering on parody. For God's sake, the Absolutely Fabulous show was making fun of this type of garbage bloody 30 years ago. This new ad is trying so hard that even the people in the ad look embarrassed, especially this older gentleman that was obviously very excited to score a gig in a Jaguar commercial and had no idea what he was in for. This poor bastard looks like the exact demographic that the old Jag would have been aiming for. Can you imagine? He would have grown up watching the pride of Britain tearing around the countryside in movies and TV shows and really expensive ads. And what does he get to do? Look embarrassed and paint a wall in a generic "we're the special people" type of ad that could be advertising anything from handbags to shampoo. Not an ad for what was once one of the most important sports car makers in the world.
No car before ever caused such a stir, and no car has since, really.
It's hard to believe that a company that sells to a very specific and small group of people decided they wanted to narrow down to a more specific and narrow group of people, while also abandoning the already small group they had. And unlike other examples we have seen, like Bud Light, that's a low-cost purchase that can win back their customers by flooding bars and clubs with their product, while also trying to quickly turn around the bad image with new advertising that relates more to their fan base.
Oh, I'm supposed to be in a Bud Light commercial, not here, so that's why.
Like hiring the comedian and Bud Light fanatic Shane Gillis, who drinks about a case of Bud Lights a day, and is exactly the type of popular person Bud Light fans can relate to. Marketing to your audience isn't that hard if you actually like your audience. So unlike cans of beer, a car purchase is a big deal and a big outlay of cash. It's a decision that can take years to make and is so often based on brand reputation that has taken sometimes decades to build. Your car says a lot about the type of person you are. That's why I drive a 1977 V8 Ford, to help with that lovely warming of the planet, as well as pretending I'm in a Mad Max movie. In reality, no one knows if you're sneaking a few Bud Lights at home while watching The Acolyte. But what you drive is your public persona. How many current Jaguar owners do you think want their public persona attached to this?
Your name is Morris Moss, is it not?
Right. Bit nervous, so, yep.
I'm guessing the guys sneaking Bud Lights at home while enjoying The Acolyte are the target audience for Jaguar. If things get bad enough, Jaguar can always give Shane Gillis a call to see if they can get him to do some drifting in a Jaguar for their next ad. And if that does happen, please let this guy sit in the passenger seat. Why are so many companies now ashamed of who they are and what their brand represents?
The Jaguar is a 1967 Jaguar XKE.
Australia sadly lost its car industry, but when it was going strong, the ads, very much like our beer commercials of the time, celebrated Australian culture, which is very different to the European and British culture that is much more refined.
The new limited edition Falcon XR Magna Ute has unbelievable pulling power.
Over a century, Jaguar built their reputation to be the sportier version of British car refinement, and because of TikTok, they have decided to throw it all away, deciding to change their customer base from James Bond fans with money to broke social media influencers. Well, that's quite the financial move for one of the last great British automakers. Aston Martin must be laughing their heads off, knowing that their customers are no longer choosing between Jaguar and Aston Martin. That choice has just been erased. But quickly, that time of year is approaching fast. The holiday season. the end of another year. The time of year where you think, I hope things get better next year. Well, don't let next year suck. Take it by the horns and make it your best year yet with that amazing idea you have or that business you want to take off. And it's easy to do with Squarespace, the #1 website builder that makes it easy to get yourself in front of the world. You might have an awesome product you want to sell. It may be you or your talents you want to share to start generating cash. With Squarespace, you can have a killer professionally designed website that you can easily manage and edit yourself, won't cost you a fortune, and best of all, it can be up and running within hours. Just sign up for a free trial, choose one of their professionally designed templates, and make it your own with the ease of drag and drop design using their amazing tool, Fluid Engine. Add photo galleries, portfolios, and eye-catching video backgrounds. Set up a store to sell directly to your customers, or if digital content is your thing, Squarespace has a members area where you can monetize your own content right on your own website. Say no middleman taking bloody 20%. You can now even set up online courses with multimedia lessons, progress tracking, and flexible pricing. You can make passive income by sharing the knowledge you already have. And Squarespace also provides secure payments and client invoicing. No other website builder can give you all of that. Next year's starting to look pretty good, my friend. Go to squarespace.com/robothead and try Squarespace today for free. And then when you're ready to launch, use the code ROBOTHEAD and you will get 10% off your first purchase. See the link below. Make 2025 your year by going to Squarespace today. I also think the blatant queer baiting is also ridiculous, because queer people also like cars. The queer community also wants what everyone else wants. Good looking cars that are reliable. Can you do that, Jaguar?
Praise doesn't get higher than that.
But what's worse than their embarrassing, out-of-touch ad is the fact that they decided to change one of the most iconic logos in the automotive industry to the Dyson logo. What type of soy-filled marshmallow of a person would go from this to this? They went from one of the coolest emblems to ever grace a car to what looks like a handbag logo. The ad comically says, "Copy nothing," while copying the simple text format every single company has been moving to for the last decade. And as for the obnoxious use of upper and lowercase, don't they know we only accept that in the 7-Eleven logo? Should we be surprised that Jaguar have taken this direction? Probably not. 10 years ago, Jaguar was a finalist in the Automobile Advertising of the Year award with an ad to sell the sexy F-Type Jaguar. An ad aimed directly at their market, middle-aged, wealthy white dudes that wanted to pretend they were still just a little bit dangerous.
But we all drive Jaguars.
And still wanted by attractive young women. But if we fast forward to a year ago, the Jaguar advertising was already looking a lot more like their latest ad, except for two major things. The ads a year ago were nowhere near as obnoxious, and wait for it, they also included cars. Not a lot of cars, but more than none. So you could say the writing was on the wall a year ago, and while the older ads are better than the one we just got, they ain't great. One ad shows a very elegant woman leaving an expensive New York apartment at 4 a.m. So I think the message is, it's a great car for prostitutes. And the other ad seems to be saying that the latest Jag has the comfort and handling of a pair of roller skates. I'm starting to understand why this company is in trouble. If only someone had stopped them a year ago and advised them not to market to only women of the night and roller skating enthusiasts. Maybe someone could have advised them not to throw away their 100 years of brand recognition.
Small wonder the E-Type became a must-have accessory for the jet set. They all had E-Type Jags.
But do you think Jaguar have listened to the global mocking and criticism of their very dated and misguided campaign? Of course not. Apparently they are visionaries, and it's the public who are wrong. Jaguar boss blasts vile hatred and intolerance after backlash to supposedly woke rebrand. Supposedly woke. Is it actually possible to get more woke than this rebranding? I think not. And hatred and intolerance. That old chestnut. Look, if you put on a clown show, you can't be surprised if the audience laughs.
We've established over 15 DEI groups, launched major policy revisions such as transitioning at work.
The activist CEO telling the customers they are wrong is such a bizarre concept because company makes product. Customer decides if they want that product. If the company's marketing drops like a dead bird out of the sky and the customer doesn't like it, that's not the customer's fault, that's the company's fault. It's a pretty easy concept that a lot of CEOs seem to have forgotten. The concept of make your customers happy.
Now, there is a new Jag.
This guy, just dying inside. Probably told all his friends he was starring in a new Jaguar ad, not knowing it was going to have as much to do with cars as the Paris Olympic opening ceremony had to do with sport. Just 3 days after the Jaguar ad was released, an ad without a car in sight, Porsche dropped their latest ad. And as a surprise, they showed their car, driving fast and sounding amazing. No tricks, no bullshit, no bunch of miserable people, all looking like they're having the worst day of their lives. Just a cool looking dude blasting his Porsche around some mountains while trying to avoid some sheep. I don't care how fast your electric car is. It's not as much fun as that. Porsche and Jaguar were once contemporaries. Porsche is one of the most desired car manufacturers on the planet. Jaguar is not. And only one of them still shows cars in its advertising. Goodbye, Jaguar. It was nice knowing you.
It's time for a change. A new plan needs a new boss. It's time for something more surprising, more British, more Jaguar.
We've already created a beast. Now it's time for a new animal.